Hey guys, this is George from Diamondyard Sportscards here, and I wanted to do a video about reslabbing your cards with new PSA slabs. Why reslab? My wife asked me a question because I was going out to the Long Beach show with a buddy of mine recently in early September, and she said, "Why would you reslab your cards?" Well, there are a couple reasons, and I wanted to go over those with you. I listed six, and I guess another issue is where to reslab your cards. This is important. Where to reslab would be at one of these shows where they're able to do it on site or soon or close by. If you go to Long Beach, the PSA offices are nearby. So that's the best place to reslab cards. It's usually about $10 a card, or at the National. I've seen some people do that at the National. But if you send them in and you're sending in slabs that are expensive or cards that are expensive, your insurance is going to be really high. So where to reslab would be at the National or any place where PSA is at and doing on-site reslabbing of cards. So the first thing is, well, why reslab your cards? The Lighthouse holder looks clean, great, new, and it just looks awesome. So for example, here's this Rogers Hornsby I got reslabbed at the show. And you want to reslab, obviously, higher-end cards. You don't want to reslab cards that are, a Cody Bellinger rookie unless it's well, that's a new Lighthouse holder in that. So anyway, Rogers Hornsby here, reslab this one. Just looks nice. It looks great in this new Lighthouse holder. We all know Joey Brings It is always talking about the Lighthouse holder, and I totally agree with him. Shout out to Joey. These cards just look fantastic in these holders. Another one here I got reslabbed was this 60 Hank in a 7. Just a real nice card, and it was an old grade. And it didn't have a Lighthouse holder or the hologram before this hologram. So the second thing is, number 2, your old case is scratched. If your old case is scratched or just looks scuffed up, it's a great idea to reslab the card. So I had this 41 play ball Teddy, and it was in an old scratched up case, and looks a lot better now. The card looks a lot better because there were scratches all over the case. Same thing here with this 55 Hank. It actually had in the upper left-hand corner, it had a big cloud on it or something from the case, and the card looks a lot better now. I didn't know that it would look this nice. I mean, it's a 5.5, but it looks a lot better now in this new slab. So if the case is scratched or something like that, reslab it if you like, if you have a chance to. Another reason, old case is cracked. Now, the old case being cracked, there's some PSA requirements for this. I talked to him at the show about this. The requirements are that the crack is not over the card. This 72 Willie, I had a crack in the top of it, right around here, but it did not extend over the card. If it extends over the card or compromises it, they will not reslab it. You'll have to get it regraded. That's what they told me. So, if it was up here, it's fine as long as it doesn't extend over the card, because then they believe the case is compromised. So this one was cracked a little bit, and I was really happy to get it reslabbed. Another reason is the card. The common view of most collectors and dealers, especially like when I was talking to the dealers at the Long Beach show, common view of the new PSA grading standards. Since they've had the Lighthouse holder, the common view is that they're stricter on their grading. Is this actually true? I don't know. My experience is, I would say generally that's accurate. I had these cards were all in older grade cases, and so I just had them reslabbed. Would they be the same grade now? I'm pretty sure, but they're not perfect. And the grading standards. The new grading standards, again, the dealers I talked to were really pretty adamant that the new grading standards were a lot tougher. But that is yet to be seen or proven. So this Jackie also was these were all old grade slabs. The next reason is you've already submitted the card for review. And I've done a regrade or review video before, but the card has the highest grade it's going to get, meaning that you've submitted it once, twice maybe for a review, and you just don't think it's going to get bumped up. For example, a couple 61s here. This 61 Clemente, this card I had submitted for a review, and it came back an 8 again. So it was in an old grade 8 case. So I figured I'll just get it reslabbed. It's not going any higher. It's a nice card. I mean, I love this card. but it's not going to get higher than an 8. And I'm not going to crack it out, because cracking it out is with a higher grade card. I mean, you could crack this out. I mean, maybe it gets an 8.5, maybe it gets a 7.5. There is inconsistencies with PSA grading. So same thing with this 61 Willie. I really like this Willie. It's a nice card, but I've submitted it for regrading or review once before. And, you know, they actually gave me a reason why. They said it had some kind of whiting or something up near his head. Anyway, so this is an 8, and it's going to stay an 8. The last reason, and I think the best one for collectors, is added value. So the Lighthouse holder cards seem to go for more money in general, at least from what I've seen. New slabs sell for more. According to PSA, the new slab is more secure, which I believe it is. I've cracked open a few of them, and they're pretty difficult to get open to some degree. So these slabs, they just look nicer, and the added value you get is really helpful, especially with cards that are maybe a little bit harder to collect or a little bit higher price. So this Jackie, I had this for a long time in an old grade 4 case, so I got this one reslabbed as well. So guys, I appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully it's been informative. And again, if you're going to reslab cards, a good idea is to get them slabbed by PSA on site at a show instead of sending them away. The insurance is very expensive if you're sending away cards that are a little bit higher price. Take care, guys. Thanks, and please subscribe.